I'm back finally. After like I don't know how many months it is. About I'm gonna say 2 months of like not posting. Uh, this is gonna be a new series because I don't remember where I was when I was doing the Asta and Deku series is. So I'm just gonna start a new one. And like if this does well, then I might start the other ones back up again, or just focus on this one. I'm not too bothered really. So as you can see from the background, this is gonna be what if now Rising of the Shield hero, what if, and it's gonna be what if Naofumi had Naofumi, yeah, Naofumi had the Sharingan. So I've seen this series before, and like I think someone did a couple of weeks back. I'm not sure who they were, but anyway, I liked the way they were doing it, and I wanted to put my own twist on it because I just really like the idea of Naofumi and the Sharingan in Rising of the Shield Hero. So like there might be some elements that I've done a little bit of copying, but I don't really. Well, from what I remember, I scripted this up before, so I don't think so. Don't think I have anyway. So let's get into it, because yeah, you guys want to watch What If. So basically, now for me, in I think in his world, I don't know what it's called, like if now for me world, whatever it's called, is a distant descendant of the Uchiyas. Um, Chakra Chakra doesn't exist in Naofumi's world, but his eyes sort of work with Chakra when they get to the Rising of the Shield Hero world. But in his world, it's called a genetic mutation. Um, I'm gonna say Chakra like sort of died out. Like people forget. Like I know Boruto sort of changes it, but let's just say like after Naruto, that whole series like it just stops after that, and then like wars stop, and then gradually over time Truck became more and more redundant. Like the tail beast, like no one became Jinchurikis anymore, so like tail beast just like trapped in the center of the earth, something like that. Make your own canon, that's what I'm going with. So he goes into the library, uh and he reads the book until he goes to the blank pages, and then he blacks out. So then he's transported into the castle by the summoners, wizards, whatever they're called, with the other three heroes. So he's looking around like in a bit of awe about what's happening, and then remembers he was like in the book. So he sees the other heroes' weapons, the sword, the spear, and the bow, and he looks down and he sees a shield on his arm. And this is when the summoners and the knights escort him to the king. But unlike in canon, due to Naofumi's, I mean, no, Naofumi didn't really know much about games in his other world. But I'm just gonna say, like, he didn't know, he doesn't know, he still doesn't know the same amount. I'm just gonna say, but in this, the game was like, oh, this kid is gonna be like shafted if he doesn't learn anything. So he's given a little tutorial whilst the king is speaking. So as he's reading through the tabs, I don't know if you like what RPG games you get like the mini tutorials you can do, and there's like a little question mark pop up icon, and you click that and you see whatever. So he reads that whilst the king is explaining why they've been summoned there. He finishes the tutorial and he looks at his skills, because that's what the tutorial goes through. It goes like skills and all. Like I'm sure you guys know this already. I'm just going over for people that don't know. So anyway, he goes through the skills and he looks at his attributes, and and he's a level 20. Agility, speed, defense, reactions, endurance, and the rest of the other skills. I'm not going to list them all, but he's at level 20. This is because of the Sharingan. Obviously, like Uchihas get based up stats from like compared to everybody. So like not like Hyugas though, because Hyugas have to like train to take out chakra points anyway, don't they? So after looking at that, he notices like the red label tab that's covered in red and labeled the Sharingan. He reads the description, and it says, grammar, don't know. Anyway, it says that says the Sharingan is the powerful dojutsu of the Uchiha clan, which grants many ability. Note: you are a pure descendant of Madara Uchiha, giving you a 10% increase in the mastery of the Sharingan's ability. So, like, in this, Madara had, like, a kid, irrelevant, nothing happened, really, but, like, they didn't know he was a descendant anyway. He was just, like, let's just say Madara got drunk in a pub and just, like, smashed a Senju or something, I don't know. Anyway, so, he's looking at that and he's like, oh, that's sound. I've got 10% mastery over my eyes now. Because now he didn't know he's a descendant of the Uchihas before. He just thought he was like a weirdo. Because his eyes were red and they had tomoes. So he scrolls down after the description and he sees his abilities that are given by the Sharingan. Now I'm going to change it from like what the Sharingan is like actually. I'm not sure if these are actually abilities. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure I remember. Anyway, so there's an emotion reader. This is the base stats from like the One Tomori Sharingan. So he's got emotion reader, copycat, attack prediction, and info gatherer. So he looks at that, and then you can get what the titles are from, and then the other abilities are blacked out because you unlock them as you go along. So he's scrolling through that, but before he could look any further, he's nudged by the bow hero, as they have been dismissed, and they all walk out. Like they didn't even notice about he didn't even listen to any of that description. He didn't even notice that the king ignored him. So whilst they're walking out, the king is disgusted by the shield hero, but he does wonder why he didn't react to any of the the subtle jabs that he put through the whole explanation. But the king just puts it back in the back of his head. Later at night, the four heroes, after they've left, are discussing the situation they're in, and they all discover that they're from different worlds. This is when Naofumi asks, what can the shield hero do? Because, in their world, he hasn't played games. I think that's what they said in canon. So they didn't play games, and then they tell him the shield is the weakest thing, and it's a support role. But then Naofumi questions why are all my stats level 20, but my level is level 1? Because now the Sharingan is an item, but it's stuck in your face. Because in Naruto, you switch out your eyes and it doesn't even matter. But you get what I mean. So it's an accessory. And then all of the other heroes' jaws drop. And the spear hero is you're saying you have level 20 stats. No way, you're lying, because he's too prideful. But Naofumi just shrugs and he's alright, whatever, I don't care. I'm going to bed. So they all discuss this a little bit further whilst he goes to bed. But whilst he's in bed, he opens his bar and sees the relationship tab, which has been unlocked after the tutorial, but he didn't get a chance to see it. So he looks at the relationship tab, which is given by the Sharingan, because the Sharingan can see the emotions, how people feel about you. So he opens that tab and he sees the list of all the main characters, the king, the heroes. You know what I mean. So he looks at the sword and the bow hero, and the bar's yellow for them. That means they're neutral. They're meh. And the king is red, obviously, and the spear hero is red. He wonders why this is, because he wonders why that the spear hero doesn't like him. So he clicks on his tab and it pops up that is a massive eco, and knowing that the shield hero apparently has better stats than him, pisses him off, really. So after that, like, he clicks on the king, and then it says, he clicks on the king's description, and he says the king hates the shield hero because he fought a war in Silfelt. This is what I got off the Wikipedia. It could change, I'm not sure. I think they completed the light novels, but the anime's coming out like this year, next year, so that's what I'm going off anyway. So, the king hates the shield hero because he fought in a war with Siltfelt, and the country worships, and that country worships the shield hero. This unlocks new information about the country that worships him, but like, I don't know much details about the king, because they don't really talk about it really. But I'm gonna, like, later on, I might make up some stuff for it. I don't think they do anyway. You can tell me down in the comments. So the next morning, all the heroes are given like 5 gold each, because like it's 1,000 silver for 1 gold. So I'm just gonna say 5 gold each, and some basic gear before the party selection. Now Finley looks at the general like relationship bar, like for like the non-main characters, like he can just click on the tab and then it just gives a quick bar check. He doesn't need to know why, but you know, it tells them, unless he like learns the names and all. So he looks at the info tab, and each adventurer steps out to like tell their name, and then like choose their party. He notices that they all hate him because apparently he's the devil of the shield because of the church. So he's like, with this knowledge he has now, he's becoming more suspicious of everybody, and especially this red-haired girl who requests to join his party. And obviously, you know, he looks at her tab because like she wants to join his party, so he wants more detail, and sees she's the princess. She's an egomaniac, and she hates the shield hero. So he's like, oh hell no. So he tries to decline to the king. He declined the offer, but the king insists. He doesn't bring up the fact that she's the princess because like he's wondering what's happening. So he wants to play along. So he sets off reluctantly with her throughout the day, and Mine tries to get closer to Naofumi, like seducing him or like acting really nice to him. But as Naofumi like gets the idea that she's hiding something, he just ignores her. So they enter the blacksmith. I don't know the bloke's name. I'm just going to call him Gerald until I remember what his name is. Gerald. Right. Anyway, they enter the blacksmith, and Naofumi buys the same armor for himself and something cheap for the princess. So the princess is not too pleased about that. He also asks how much would it be for me to copy some of your shields, because like he can I'm pretty sure he can copy the same weapon he has. So like, because he's got the tutorial, he learned about that. So the guy says like all the shields he's got cost around 200, so he just says 200, and like now Fumi's like, all right, fine, I'll pay 200 to copy your shield. So now he's got loads of shields. So he's happy with that. So they decide. He asks where's a good spot to level up, and Mine says there's the field where you can like attack those orange balloon monsters. So they go to the field, and now Fumi attacks them with incredible speed, shocking him, Mine, and the onlooking sword hero. Now Fumi's thinking in his head, I didn't realize, like, he's like, whoa, my stats are insane. Because, like, he's moving at, like, top speeds, like, I can't say how fast he's moving, because they didn't really show how fast. I'm just gonna, like, he's fast. You can just imagine it's like a body flicker or whatever. It's not that fast, though. So he's like, wow. So Mine is shocked that how quickly Naofumi took out those monsters, because like he's the shield hero, he's supposed to be the weakest one. So like she's like a bit scared now, but she's like, we're still committed to the plan. So he knows about as I said before, he knows about the copy and shield ability because he like copied loads of shield. So he placed from the wiki now, he places the orange balls material. Apparently, he got a yellow small shield as well, and then he also got the leaf shield. I think he got I think that's the medicine shield. I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna say he gets it now. So later that night, they go to the pub where the sword hero is staying. The sword hero and Naofumi actually work together, but they realize that the experience does cut by like 3/4. So they were like, that was good because they had like about an hour together, so they sort of got to know each other more. So the bar went a bit, it went green, and it went further along on green. Is that a good description? Like the bar just went up, okay. Like later that night, the sword hero, and Naofumi just hang about, and then Mine offers Naofumi a drink, which he declines. But he does stay, instead of going straight to bed, he does stay and get to know the sword hero more. So that's all good. So he goes to bed. Before Naofumi goes to bed, he puts his money in his inventory like you're supposed to. Because, like, I think they have an inventory. Yeah, they should do. Anyway, I'm saying they have an inventory and he just never noticed. So he just chucked his money in there, in his inventory, but he was exhausted, so he forgot to unequip his armor. So he wakes up to see his room ransacked, but only his old clothes were stolen, because they're not going to, like, try and, like, steal his clothes off the not armor. How would you say it? Not steal clothes off his body. But he like notices it's only his old clothes, so he'll just report it to the innkeeper. So about 10 minutes later, he goes down to the bar to get breakfast. So he's sitting down having a drink and some eggs. I'm just gonna say he likes eggs in this. And then you see 10 guards. 10 guards burst in and try and grab him. But Naofumi like easily dodges because like he's got the Sharingan at base is like his normal eyes, but like the Sharingan like works at half capacity. So I'm gonna say, so like when he's at base now, he can like easily dodge. Like it's always like his base stats are like insane. So he's easily dodging them and asking what they want, and then they shout, The king demands that you come to the castle, you scum." So like they don't tell him outright, but now for me, he's puzzled. So he's puzzled and knowing that this isn't going anywhere because of the guards are just wanting to tie him up, but they can't actually touch him. He decides that he's just going to go up there himself. So he jumps through the window that's open, and like he runs to the castle, dodging guards as he looks at the info bar. And then he like looks at the details whilst he's running across a roof. And he sees that he's hated by the majority of the population because he's been accused of grape. You know what I mean? You know, grape. I can't say the word. I think that gets you banned. I'm pretty sure. Anyway. But anyway, that happens. So then he's annoyed now. Like, what have I actually done? So he then walks into the hall and everybody's looking at him with shock as he's just burst into the hall. He's unchanged and there's no guards. So the King Scream sees him, but again, Naofumi dodges and then keeps asking what's this about. And like the shield hero tries to like take him out, but he dodges again. And the spear hero says, "Come down here, criminal. How dare you do this to a young maiden?" The king shouts that if he wasn't the shield hero, that he would have his head, as more and more insults and accusations are thrown at him. No, wait. Yeah, like insults and accusations are thrown at him, and he's like, "Oh no, oops." Yeah, we're good now. And he's like, "What are they on about?" And he's like, "It's the princess." So like all these insults and accusations are being thrown at him. His anger builds and builds, and now his eyes turn red. And two more tomoes appear in one more tomoi appears in each of his eyes. Like he's not gonna get his fully developed Sharingan yet, because he'd slap everybody up, but he's slapping everybody up now. So two Tomori appear in each eye, so he's upgraded to the next level. And with this new rage, he releases bloodlust and like anger, putting everybody to their knees. And before saying in a cold voice, I know all of you hate me, and I hate you too, because he doesn't like being betrayed. Like, as in canon shows, like, if he was powerful then, he probably would have murked everyone in that hole. So, how can you accuse someone of such a crime without knowing who they are? You people disgust me, because he knows about, like, the king's prejudice. So he's, like, proper pissed now. As then he turns and notices everybody's on their knees, because he was in, like, a blind rage looking at the king. King's on his knees sweating, and is, like, he releases his aura because, like, he's going to kill people if he doesn't. Like, so everybody's allowed to breathe again. Like, I'm going to say he could control it to the people that are in the positives or the neutrals. So, like, the bow and the spear. No, the bow and the sword could feel the pressure, but they won't put to their knees because, like, he's got no killing, like, intent against them, because they were questioning, like, is this true? Like, the sword was like, no way that this happened, because, like, she was like, because mine was like he was in a drunken stupor or whatever, but the sword was like, he doesn't even drink alcohol, so, like, he's happy, he's sound with them, but the rest of them, he says, like, go die or whatever. So as he walks out of the hall, the king is hysterical, screaming, devil of the shield, kill him, he's a demon. And Naofumi just walks out of the gates with, like, he's got all his money and stuff, but, like, everybody now hates him. And he's just like, well, I don't like this kingdom anyway. So, and that's where I'm going to end it off today. So that was just, like, me getting back into the flow of things. I think this was alright for me. I like this, how the story's going. But if there's, like, anything, like, you want me to add or anything, just pop it down in the comments. Like, that's good for me, like, because I'm still not good at these scripts. I don't think I am. Because I feel like it could do better, but, you know, it's just a little passive. Because we're going back into lockdown in, like, the UK now, so sucks. But thank you guys for watching. I should have this uploaded tonight of recording. And yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, bye.